A potential flashpoint in ties between China and Australia. Australia's Defence Department says that it will remove all Chinese-made security cameras in its building, citing security risks. It's a move familiar to the US and the UK, which have both banned such cameras and other equipment in sensitive facilities. Along with Defence, the Departments of Foreign Affairs and Finance and the Attorney General's office use the same devices. Senator James Paterson sounded the alarm on potential spyware. He's calling for their immediate removal. The cameras were made by Hikvision and Dahua, both blacklisted in the US and in the UK.
I don't think we should overstate it, but I think it is right to be doing the assessment and making sure that we deal with it, and that's what we're going to do. I mean, it's a significant thing that's been brought to our attention, and we're going to fix it. It's obviously been there, I might say, for some time and predates us coming into office. But that said, it's important that we go through this exercise and make sure that our facilities are completely secure.
For more on this, let's speak to Lo Minmin. She's in Shanghai. Minmin, China has already hit back at Australia's move.
That's right. China has hit back at Australia's move, and then earlier today at the foreign ministry meeting, China has called this a form of discrimination and suppression of Chinese companies, and they also urge Australia to provide a fair environment for the operation of Chinese companies. Have a listen.
中国政府一贯鼓励中国企业按照市场原则和国际规则，在遵守当地法律的基础上开展对外投资合作。我们反对任何泛化国家安全概念、滥用国家力量、歧视打压中国企业的错误做法。希望澳大利亚方面为中国企业正常经营提供公平、公正、非歧视的环境，多做有利于双方互信和合作的事情。
Well, it's worth noting that the Chinese Foreign Ministry's response is relatively short and restrained. It did not threaten to retaliate, at least for now. Interesting to note that China-Australia relations have been improving ever since the current Prime Minister Albanese stepped into office last May. And in fact, just earlier this week, the trade ministers of China and Australia had met virtually for the first time in 3 years. And that was held up as a breakthrough meeting because China came out of that meeting saying that it is finally ready to restart trade talks with Australia, and it even invited the Australian trade minister to visit Beijing. So it's not clear yet at this moment whether this incident will blow up into something bigger, but judging from the foreign ministry's response, it does seem like they don't quite want that newly warming relationship to be thrown too far off course.
Relations between these two countries had indeed been improving in recent months, Minmin. So how could this move now by Australia perhaps affect the progress the two sides have already made to mend ties?
Well, as I said earlier, it's a little difficult to tell at this moment, but we can see from that foreign ministry's statement that it is quite restrained. China did not mention that they are going to retaliate or take further action. They didn't bring in the fact that Australia is perhaps following in the footsteps of US and UK, and it didn't accuse the US this time of being the ringleader of creating these small circles that China has been prone to accuse these other Western nations of forming. So we know that China-Australia ties have been warming in recent months, and we'll have to wait and see if things improve or get worse from here.
Minmin, thank you for that. Lo Minmin there in Shanghai.